What do you make of the call for punishment and sanction of people who are, as I say, we have to take sides, siding with Hamas? Not just condemnation of those views, but the effort to exact some kind of retribution against people who are taking that position, withholding our money, not hiring these people, ruining them, because after all, look at their values. Their values are to side with terrorists.
You have to put yourself where people are. I say this too much, but you have to try to put yourself in someone's head. I understand why Mr. Hamas guy would do this. I see how he's thinking. And I think that he should be reviled. However, I completely understand how a human being living for hating Israel, not having much else to live for, might be driven to do things like this. This needs to be condemned as nauseating, not just as troubling, as intolerable, as maybe worth leveling Gaza. Someone here who looks at what Hamas is doing and thinks of it as a wonderful thing, I sharply disagree with them, but I think that they're falling for this everything is a repeat of the civil rights movement of the 1960s in America mindset. That's not hard to fall into, and there's so many things to pay attention to. And that kind of thinking is so caught up with what especially white people today think of as what makes them moral beings. I get why somebody might feel that way, and it's my job to say, put a drop in the ocean and write my piece questioning this. But nobody should lose their job for that. Nobody should not be hired by a law firm for that. I get it. People should just have arguments, and they should be heated ones. But the idea that you put people in the stocks, this is the same thing as 2020 and 2021 here when somebody said the wrong thing about blackness and got fired. It's the same Lord of the Flies phenomenon masquerading as advanced thinking. It's people basically being mean, giving vent to that aspect of humanity. But if it's in the name of anti-racism, then it's the right thing to do. It's just, it swarms. So that's how I feel about that. I'm very disappointed with this issue of censure. I'm disappointed to see university presidents unable to fully condemn Hamas because you have somebody sitting in a big, beautiful office with a PhD who, when the camera and the mic isn't on, is probably pumping their fists in the air at what Hamas did. That's disgusting. But they shouldn't lose their job. Opinions differ, and they should be allowed to differ even when issues of power are concerned. Differentials in power do not cancel out humanity, civility, and higher thought. So no, I disagree with this version of cancel culture as much as I have the one from 2020 and 2021. Not that it's completely gone.
They're related, it seems to me, to cancel culture binge, where people were fired or defenestrated for saying white lives matter or whatever, are related to the upsurge of censorship and attacks on people for having unpopular political opinions in support of Hamas that we're seeing proliferate. Now, it seems to me that they're related. It seems to me that the fact of the former animates the energy behind the latter. That is, when the streets were overrun with rioting anti-racists who were burning stuff down, attacking police officers and destroying property, and in some instances killing people, you people sided with the blacks. You sided with the anti-racists. You sided with the people protesting about George Floyd, and you issued statements. My university president certainly issued one. Many of them did. Therefore, apparently, you have no reticence whatsoever to take your institution and to put its brand and identity on the scale on one side or another of a disputable conflict and say your institution's values are this. You take a side. Now comes the slaughter of 1,400 Jews in southern Israel, and you equivocate. And you're on the one side, on the other side. So you can't possibly say universities don't have political positions when I can see from 2020 that you do have a political position on some issues. Hence, you expose yourself to being held accountable for whatever it is that you say about this right now.